I have 10 romance books that'll have you so giddy that you're smiling and kicking your feet, so let's talk about them. Hi, I'm Lacey. I love to read. Thanks for coming to my channel. I love to read many different genres, but one of my favorite genres I'm learning are romance books where you are laughing and smiling and swooning over the characters so much that you can't stop smiling. And so I compiled a list of 10 books like that because sometimes you just need something more lighthearted and happy and swoony in your life. I'm a very empathetic person, which I feel like a lot of people will relate to. And I don't always want to cry, even though I do enjoy a good cry to read. But I call these books kind of like my palate cleansers because I like historical fiction and I like thrillers and I like really deep love stories as well. So sometimes you just need a good palate cleanser. And here's 10. Okay, starting off strong with number 1, this is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This book was 347 pages and I rated it 5 stars. This book stars Mallory, who used to play chess, and she quit, and now she is the breadwinner of her family at a very young age, and so she has the world on her shoulders, and she decides to play in one more charity tournament for fun and beats Nolan, who is the world-renowned champion of chess. And so this opens so many doors for her. She ends up joining this chess league and ends up encountering Nolan a lot more than she expected. So it is so fun. I read this almost in one sitting. I think it was the only reason I stopped is because I had to go to bed. I had no choice, but it was so good. There is definitely some real life moments in there that's a little more serious, but overall you're just gonna be smiling and wanting to scream happiness into this book. The next book we have is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. This book is 316 pages and I rated it 4.25 stars. This stars Emily, who moves to a small town to help her sister who's injured. And while she's there, she happens to volunteer for their local Renaissance fair and she meets Simon, the grumpy man in charge. What could go wrong? It is so fun. I never thought I'd love a book about a Renaissance fair, but this book was so fun. You'll be giggling, you'll be laughing, you'll love them so much, but you also will just have a fun time. Next up is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This book is a YA romance, which means young adult. And so it is set in high school. It's 349 pages and I rated it 5 stars. This is the quintessential rom-com. Like, this book embodies what a rom-com was in 2000s. I had so much fun with this book. It follows Liz and Wes. They are next door neighbors. They've been best friends their whole life. And then Wes befriends Michael, who is Liz's biggest crush, and so she has to spend a lot more time with Wes, and I think you can tell where it goes, but it is so fun. I don't recommend this book enough, but it was really just the perfect YA rom-com. The next book is Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth. This book is 307 pages and I rated it 4.5 stars. This book is about Ava and Jamie, and she wins a pageant and then has to go on a cross-country road trip for press because she won the pageant, and it is very much grumpy sunshine and it's a really good time. This book is The Marriage Game by Sarah Desai. This book is 338 pages and I rated it 4.5 stars. This book is set in SF and it is about Layla, who goes back home and her dad sets her up on 10 blind dates, and she's also working in an upstairs office that he happened to also lease to Sam. They have to work in the same office, which is really fun, and it's set in San Francisco, which is also really fun. And it's very funny and cute and very family oriented, and I really enjoyed it. The next book I have is Always Mine by Laura Pavlov. This book was 325 pages and I rated it 4.75 stars. This is a small town romance about Vivian and Nico. They're best friends since childhood, and then they decide to help each other out with something, which kind of messes up their friendship and turns it into a new direction. But it's really fun and very great small town vibes, and I just loved it. Another small town romance for this video is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This book is 372 pages and I rated it 5 stars. Alexis and Daniel meet because her car is in a ditch, and so he tows her to the nearest place, which happens to be a bar, and the two of them hang out and end up spending the night together, and she goes back to her big city and he stays in a small town, but they just can't forget each other, and it's just really fun and very sweet, and you do have some emotional moments, but overall it's just very fun and will have you smiling the whole time. The next book, another small town romance, is very much the trend right now, is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. This book is 354 pages and I also rated this 5 stars. This book is about Naomi and Nick, and they both do not want to be in the engagement anymore, and so they're kind of trying to get the other person to call off the engagement so they don't have to pay the whole thing. So they're doing practical jokes and kind of just irritating the life out of each other, but it is so funny and it's a nice second chance romance that is really fun, and I read it twice and I loved it both times. And the next book is one of my favorites. I love this book so much. It's Caught Up by Liz Tom 40. It was 392 pages and I rated it 5 stars, of course. It follows Kai and Miller. Kai is a single dad and he's also an MLB player, and Miller is a world-renowned pastry chef who doesn't really know what to do with her life right now, and so she goes back to her dad, who happens to be Kai's coach. So she becomes nanny for Kai's son to stay with the team while they do their season, and it is so fun. There are moments definitely that will make you cry, but overall I was smiling and happy and giddy the entire time reading this. And last but not least is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This book is one of my favorite books I've read this year, and just in general, the writing is so whimsical. It's 326 pages and I rated it 4.75 at first, but I honestly have not stopped thinking about it or talking about it, so it's definitely a 5-star read. It follows Clementine and Ewan, and Clementine moves to her aunt's apartment after she passes away, and it's a magical apartment where sometimes you get thrown back 7 years in the past, and that's where she meets Ewan, and it's just such a beautiful love story, and it's so fun, and I smile thinking about it, and I just loved every single page. So those are all the books I have in today's video. I hope you can find at least one of these books to add to your TBR, and I really appreciate you watching this video and coming to my channel, and I hope the books that you read bring you joy.